The kitchen has become my studio, and food is my medium. Food is powerful. It's emotional. It activates the entirety of our senses. It ties us to our history, our identity. Vividly, I remember the aura of my mother in the kitchen. She was a magician, godlike in her ability to transform ingredients into heavenly bliss. She would dance around her temple in cheap pink slippers to salsa while I watched from her side. "How do I know it's ready?" I say, learning to make rice. "When it turns the color of tortillas, Andrea," she would say. We worshipped her at her altar, the table, taking part in her offerings. She taught me the traditions of my family through the medium of food. I wanted, maybe selfishly, to have my own temple, my own altar, my own praise. As I matured, I questioned the tradition of my family's history, every family's history. Eventually, empathy won. The beef in the albondigas, the pork in the pozole, the chicken in the enchiladas came from a living thing. It gave its life for a momentary satisfaction of taste buds. But I didn't know. How could I? Meat and dairy weren't questioned. It's normal. It's natural. It's necessary. Where else am I going to get my protein? I came to find out none of this was true. I didn't have an excuse. I became an advocate for animal rights. Being vegan just wasn't enough. I never intended to become an activist. They honestly always kind of annoyed me, especially those preachy vegans. But I had to do something, anything. I am their voice. I'm frustrated, angry. Why doesn't anyone give a shit? I watch people I care about take part in the murder of innocent beings completely unnecessarily. And they're killing themselves with the products of death, smiling, happily praising the chef, head in the sand, heart in the dirt. Why doesn't anyone care? How do I make people care? Debating morality rarely works. At the end of the day, the only justifiable excuse for eating meat and dairy is taste. But show someone they can still enjoy the same taste without the cruelty? Oh man, breaks down barriers. Unconfrontational, effective activism. Food speaks to the soul and should consider the souls of all living things. I can use my love of cooking to disprove the misconceptions of vegan food, that it isn't filling. It consists of twigs and leaves. It's bland. It doesn't fulfill necessary protein requirements. It's too expensive. It's too much work. It's intimidating. None of this is true. They're just excuses. How can I make vegan food less intimidating? How do I break down these excuses? Cooking classes, my very own little temple, once a week at a local community art space. A community event makes change exciting. We are all learning together. Veganism becomes feasible, almost normal, possible in a place like Oklahoma. Unexpectedly, overwhelmingly, over 100 curious people attended. My food, my students, the community healed me. My cynicism became optimism. People do care.